People of the internet, welcome back to another video. It is I, Don Thomas, back in here with another one. As always, folks, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. Looks like it's just a drill. It's just a drill, nothing too crazy just yet. They're testing the systems in terms of the cell phone outage. Of course, you may be aware, you might have been even impacted of this situation yourself, if you're an AT&T customer and a few other, cell phone carriers as well too. Looks like nationwide outages. People woke up this morning with their cell phones not working, unable to receive phone calls, send text messages, get access to the internet. CNN Business reports AT&T outage impacting phone service for U.S. customers. Tens of thousands of AT&T customers still say they have no service. As of approximately 12:30 p.m. Eastern, some 25,000 AT&T customers were still reporting outages, right? Per data compiled by data tracking site Down Detector. Still, the latest figure is a steep fall from the peak of some 74,000 AT&T customers reporting outages at around 9 a.m. Eastern. Down Detector, of course, was a site that originally reported this news, which was a site I wasn't familiar with, but I'm going to start paying a lot more attention to now moving forward. Basically, it's a site, of course, that lets you know all the companies or, systems, what are the cases that are currently, going through some type of disruption. Some pretty prominent names here, as you can see on my list: AT&T, Cricket, Verizon, T-Mobile, just to name a few, Xfinity, Google, Spectrum, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on and on and on. Now, you might be saying, what's the big deal, bro? Outages happen all the time, man. You're hyping, man. You're hyping it. You're reaching, bro. Outages happen all the time. And I would say you're absolutely right. Outages do happen all the time. They happen all the time until one day will finally meet us where it happens and it does not come back after a few hours. It does not come back after, we're working on it. What are the cases, not to be alarmed, because of course that's what they're going to say when shit finally does hit the fan. This was just a warning, folks, and everybody will get a turn. Right now, of course, it looks like if you're primarily an AT&T customer, you were the one that maybe felt the strongest end of this blow. But everybody's going to get a turn. Everybody's going to get a turn. I'm laughing, folks, because, of course, if you're familiar with the content that I speak on this channel, of course, I did a video speaking about the viral movie When the World Ends, which pretty much spoke on a situation happened like this of that sort. Of course, the internet was up in arms. They were saying, is this, a test trial? All the conspiracy theorists came in and said, that's the first thing they thought about was the movie When the World Ends. Of course, if you haven't seen that movie on Netflix, I definitely recommend that you go watch it. It is a movie that depicts the social collapse due to a cyber attack. The point I'm trying to make here is this, folks. These things are possible. As I said, I'm not really, I didn't think too much of it when I first heard this news. I just thought it was interesting. Again, with everything that's kind of happening in the world, we don't need situations like this happening, right? We don't need mass outages with people unable to make phone calls and receive text messages and this, that, and the other. We don't need things happening like this at the current moment. But of course, this seems to be around the time where a lot of people are on edge. Let this serve as a reminder, if anything, folks, is what I'm saying. Oh, man, you're reaching, bro. Oh, man, things go down all the time. You're absolutely right. Things do go down all the time, my friend. But there's going to come a day when it's going to come down and it's not going to come back up. And that, my friend, will be the beginning of the end. Oh, bro, you sound like a conspiracy theorist, man. It's just fear-mongering, man. Relax, man. What's the big deal, bro? Blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. I'm never going to be the guy that's going to sway you one way or the other. I just want us all to be aware. It's just awareness at the end of the day. Do know, as you saw in today's example, all right, this was just a test run, that these things are possible. That it's very much so possible that you'll wake up one day and you won't have access to your bank account, your internet provider, your cable, things of that nature. The things that you would deem a necessity will one day be inaccessible to you. I also thought it was interesting, just to kind of, let me toggle back over to the screen real quick. I thought it was interesting, this Down Detector site that originally, reported the news. I stumbled across their Twitter. Of course, I had to follow them now. It doesn't look like they post as frequently, but of course, they're the ones that recently just, broke this news. Of course, there's this mass outage. And of course, you saw the website, of course, as well, too, where I was showing you guys, these are some of the prominent companies that have experienced some type of outage of whatever the case is, or who they monitor, whatever the case is. These are big names. Do you see the names on this site? I'm sure a good percentage of you who are watching this video right now, you depend upon these services to some extent. You maybe have an account with some of these places. These are prominent names. I know I do. I know I have T-Mobile, Google, X, right? Twitter, right? A lot of you, Facebook, Gmail, YouTube, that I'm currently recording for right now, Spotify. These are pretty prominent names. And these outages seem to be happening all the time. If you go to their Twitter, of course, there's another one as well, too. Same things. It just kind of classifies, of course, when these things are happening. OpenAI was having some problems. Hawaiian Telecom is having some problems. Citizens Bank is having some problems. Roblox is having some problems. Reddit is having some problems. You understand? Now, a lot of you might say, well, hey, man, I don't think it's anything malicious. These are just test runs, my friends. In my personal opinions, this is just to see, it's just like, hey, man, the day we decide to push the button, let's see if it's really going to work. And so far, so good. So far, so good, man. All I'm saying, folks, just be aware that these things are possible. Don't be so reliant on these devices that could falter at a drop of a dime. Be aware of these things, folks. These things are indeed possible. In conclusion, of course, drop some comments down in the comment section. I don't know if you were heavily impacted by this. Do you have outage? Are you your AT&T carrier? What were your thoughts when this first went down? Was cyber attack the first thing that came to mind? Because I know for me personally, I didn't necessarily flinch on this one. Of course, I have T-Mobile. My internet was working just fine, but it did tell me that I will have a turn one day, right? If you weren't impacted, I think this was happening across a lot of major cities, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw somewhere where they mentioned this was like in all the major cities. So Atlanta, Chicago, I think Los Angeles. A few of the major cities, of course, were the ones that primarily were hit with this outage or whatever the case is. So, yeah, maybe an hour is okay. 2 hours is okay. 3 hours, okay. 4 or 5. What happens when the outage reaches a week? Damn, my Gmail still ain't come up. It's been a week now. What happens when it's 2 weeks? Damn, I can't log into my Bank of America. What's going on? My Wells Fargo app is not working. I have no access to my money. I went to the ATM. The ATM's not working. Damn, what's going on? What happens when it's a month, 2 months, where the things that you depend upon every single day no longer have access? Damn, the gas station pump is not working. I went to go get gas and the pump's not working, man. They said the internet's down. It's been like this for a few days now. I'm not going to panic just yet. I don't know, folks. Preparation and awareness is the key, is all I'm trying to get at this. Again, I'm not going to reach and say this is some malicious attack. Maybe it was. Who knows? Because, again, these things are happening all the time. I'm not going to completely rule that out as an option. But just be aware. That's all I want to do. I just want you to be aware. Have a plan in place for when this thing really does happen, when it's not a drill, right? When it's not a drill and things really do pop off. Have a plan of action. What's your recourse? What are you going to do when shit hits the fan, as they say? Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comment section below, folks. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions. What are some things that are on your mind right now? I'd love to hear it. As always, the likes, the comments, and subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I'll catch you on the next one.